I'm Colleen, and I'm back for another live stream brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing. So happy everyone could be here with me today. Happy Wednesday. So glad you could be here with me today. So each week we are bringing you new topics to discuss, starting and maintaining your career in the dental industry. And if you want more information on any of the topics that we're covering, be sure to check out Princess Dental Staffing's website at princessdentalstaffing.com. There you can check out their blog. It's also super, super easy to create a profile and start searching for jobs as well. If you like the content that we're bringing you, be sure to like this video, leave comments, and if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. And of course, if you have any questions or thoughts or insights on any of the information that we're covering, be sure to comment below. And if we don't get to it when the stream is live, we'll be sure to get to it as soon as possible. Okay, so thanks for being here with me today, everyone. Hopefully everyone remembered last week when I told you about the time change. So hopefully everyone remembered about that. But if not, it's okay. Just be sure you can still access this video later and comment your questions and thoughts later. Okay. So let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic, 6 time management tips for office managers. So we're going to be sharing some tips about how to manage your time wisely, essentially. Best ways to do that. Excuse me. Okay, for office managers. So let's first start off by talking about why time management is so important. Well, because time is a resource like anything else. And once you spend it, you can't get it back. So we want to make sure that we're spending our time wisely and we're using that resource as wisely as possible in order to get all our tasks done throughout the day. Okay, and we're not wasting time doing other things. So and being an office manager, you definitely have the unique situation where you're having to balance, your individual tasks and the office tasks, right? So you're having to balance both of those things. So time management is super, super important for office managers. Okay, so in order to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish and spending less time doing it, okay? So what we're focusing on here is working smarter, not harder. And that way we can tackle all of our, to-dos and daily schedules and all those sorts of things, and hopefully at the end of the day, have a little bit of time to spare, right? Okay, so that's why it's important. So let's start talking about tips. Excuse me, you guys. I must have a frog in my throat. Okay, so let's talk about our 6 tips. So number 1 is keep your workspace organized. Okay, so make sure that everything has a place and that everything is in its place in your workspace. Okay, and that's not just your physical desk, but also your computer as well. So on your desk, make sure that you've separated things like pens, pencils, staples, notepads, all those things have a specific place. Okay. And on your desktop, on your computer, that everything is labeled or is labeled correctly and has folders and those sorts of things. Anything that you have to refer to frequently, go ahead and make your life easier and put a shortcut on your desktop. Okay, just to make things easier. I don't know about you, but I feel like we all have that one coworker where you look at their desktop, at their computer, and it's just full. It's just covered from left to right, those columns with all those, with all those documents or files, folders, and what have you. And it's just, there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. It's just completely full. I feel like we all have at least one coworker like that. And that just makes it just makes it harder, when things don't have a place and aren't in their place, you just end up wasting time trying to find what it is that you need, whether it's on your computer, whether it's on your desk. It's a huge time waster. So make sure that your workspace is completely organized in a way that makes sense to you. Okay. We all work a little bit differently, right? So make sure that it makes sense to you so that you can easily go get something that you need when you need it and you don't have to waste a lot of time looking for it. Okay. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, create and follow a daily schedule. Okay. So at the beginning of every day, make sure that you are writing down or recording on your phone or your computer, whatever works best for you. You're writing down all the things that you need to get done that day, and make sure that you're writing down all the things that you need to get done tomorrow before you leave work for the day. And I actually read recently somewhere that that's actually a really great stress relief technique as well. If you, before you leave for the day, actually taking the time to write down or record all the things that you're going to have to do tomorrow. Okay. And that way you can come into work and you can hit the ground running. But something about actually writing it down or recording all the things that you have to do tomorrow actually helps relieve stress, because you're not going home and bringing work with you home, right? And you're not constantly having to think about, oh, I can't forget to do that tomorrow. I've got to remember, I've got to prepare for that meeting with so-and-so, or that call with so-and-so, or for this appointment or that. So, make sure that you're writing all those things down, okay? Or recording them, whatever works best for you, okay? Yeah, so if you actually spend time writing all those things down and creating a daily plan to get all of those things done, again, you're spending a little bit more time now recording all of those things, but you're spending less time later having to scramble at the last minute to get something done that you forgot to write down or that you forgot was due, okay? So really great time management, time saving technique, okay? So item number three, tip number three, rather, prioritizing your work properly. Okay. So it's really, really important to prioritize your work so that, the most important things get done first. Okay. It's been a little while since I've talked about this, but I know I've done other videos. I think I did them a while ago where I talked about this technique called Eisenhower's box or Eisenhower's boxes. As the name suggests, it's been around for a little while, but I think that's because it works. I think it's really, really helpful thing to do. So basically, it's just a tool, and there's tons of tools out there. This is the one that I like, but it's basically just a really simple tool to help you prioritize your tasks. Okay, to kind of determine what's most important and what can kind of wait a little bit longer. Okay, so but make sure, whatever technique you decide that you want to use, make sure that you're prioritizing your tasks properly so that everything gets done in a timely manner. And again, you don't have to waste time scrambling at the last minute to get something done. Okay. Okay, so tip number three is maintain a system for your email. Okay, so at previous positions, there were some over the course of my career, some of my positions I only got a few emails a day, and I've even held positions where I had literally over 100 emails sent to me every day. So if you're one of those people that are kind of on the far end of the spectrum and you're getting a lot of emails coming to you, and that's a really big form of communication for you, make sure you set up your email to be organized as well. You can use labels and folders and all those sorts of things to really help code and categorize all those emails, and that way which ones need to be responded to quickly and which ones can maybe wait for a response a little while. Also, make sure that you're setting up time to check your emails throughout the day. So like I said, some of my previous supervisors, they wanted or they required that you check your emails 3 times a day: once in the morning, once at lunch, once in the afternoon. Like I said, when I was kind of in that those positions where I got more emails, or like a higher volume of emails, I set aside time every hour to check those and to kind of categorize those and put them in their folders and label them, and make sure that I got back to them as soon as possible. Okay. And that way, when you have all those kind of categorized and organized, then you can, again, it just saves time. And it does take a little bit of time to kind of categorize those, but again, we're spending a little bit more time on the front end so we don't have to spend as much time, scrambling at the last minute to respond to something, research something, and respond to someone at the last minute, and it kind of messes up the rest of our daily schedule. Okay. Can I get that email to me? What are you looking for? What would you like emailed? This video? Because you can actually access this video on Facebook and YouTube and kind of refer back to it later. Okay. Alrighty, so that was about email. So tip number 4, eliminate any distractions. I think this is kind of a big one. I don't know about you, all of you, but one of the biggest lies that I tell myself is that, oh, I don't have to turn off the notifications on my phone. I just won't answer it, or I just won't look at it. Are you one of those people too? Because that's one of the biggest lies that I tell myself. Right after, I don't need to write that down, I'll remember it, which kind of refers back to one of the earlier tips I was talking about. So eliminate your distractions as much as possible. While you're working on something that needs your full attention, make sure you turn off the notifications on your phone, or just turn off your phone, if you don't want to be disturbed. And make sure you turn off notifications again, on your desktop as well. Anything like that, close out your email, things like that. If it's just something that you have to, drive through and just get done, make sure you eliminate distractions as much as possible. Because I definitely am one of those people that have that temptation. Once my phone starts buzzing, I have to check what it is. Oh, I have to check it. And I always lie to myself and say, I don't need to check it, but yes, I absolutely need to check it. So make sure that you eliminate those distractions as much as possible. Okay. Eisenhower method. Oh, so you can actually Google that. There's a bunch of, like I said, it's been around for a little while. So there's a bunch of different websites that will kind of show you how to do it. But it's called, like I said, it's called Eisenhower's box or Eisenhower's boxes, but you can definitely Google that and look at images, and you'll see you can kind of get an idea of how to use that. Okay. Okay, so last tip, make sure that you have clear communications in the office. Okay, make sure that you're setting up those avenues for communication. And what I mean by that is, make sure that firstly, that your team members know how best to contact you, right? Some people prefer phone, some people prefer email, some people prefer just come by my office anytime. Okay. So whatever you prefer, make sure that your team members know the best way to get a hold of you. Okay. And that way you really you still, establish those avenues for communication, but it's in the best way possible. Okay. That works best with your schedule and your tasks. Okay. The other thing, you want to make sure that you are checking in with your team members every so often as well, to make sure that they don't need anything, that that they have all the resources that they need in order to get their jobs done. Right. So, just being a little bit proactive here, just making sure that your team members have all the resources that they need to do their jobs well. And again, spending a little bit of time, checking in with them will save a lot of time later having to resolve a problem that has grown beyond its original scope, right? Okay. So let's go over those tips again. Okay. So keep your workspace organized. Okay. Create and follow a daily schedule. Number 3, prioritize tasks properly. Number 4, maintain a system for your email, especially if you get a lot of emails, if you have high volume of emails. Eliminate distractions and enact clear communications with your office, with your team members. Okay. And doing all those things, will really help your time management. Now, I know most of those tips, again, it just requires you to spend a little bit of time, completing all those tasks. But again, if you spend a little bit of time now, you don't have to spend so much of it later trying to clean up last minute issues and items. Okay. Awesome advice. My supervisor does that. Thank you. Oh, you are so welcome. So happy that you could be here with me today and hear all this. So those are my tips for you, for your time management, for our office managers, and of course, really great tips for other people in your office as well. But definitely for office managers, since you have to balance your tasks and the office tasks, really good ideas to help us spend your time wisely. So thanks for tuning in today with me, everyone. We will be back next week. Again, if note the time change. We're going to be doing these we've changed time starting this week. So the streams will be coming in at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. Pacific. Okay, so make sure that you tune in. And if you couldn't tune in when this was live, I'm so glad you got to watch this video later. Thanks for being here with me today, everyone. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, be sure to leave them below. So we will be back next week with a new topic, and I will see you soon. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.